Hello, my name is David Troupin with Body by Dave Fitness. Today I'm going to be covering how to fix and eliminate pain in your feet. Today I'm going to cover a few different tools and techniques on how to basically target and eliminate different painful spots in your feet, and then also how to prevent pain in the future. Today the tools I'm going to be covering are a tennis ball, or you can also use a lacrosse ball, a massage gun, or also known as a deep tissue massager, and also a frozen water bottle, just a cheap, basic frozen water bottle, and also just basically some slippers, house slippers. What I'm going to start with first is I'm going to start with the massage gun, which is a vibration tool, so it basically uses percussion at a high repetition range to send blood flow to areas where you have knots or adhesions or tightness in soft tissue, and allows your body to basically displace and move that and eliminate it. And our bodies are pretty resilient, so most people don't realize most massage, acupuncture, cupping, all these different types of modalities as far as helping eliminate pain in the body is just stimulating blood flow to the area of these problems that we basically experience, and tightness we experience from everyday use or trauma for injuries, or the list goes on. So today I'm going to start by showing you how to use a massage gun on your feet. How this is going to work is you're going to grab a seat. You can either sit down and cross your ankle over your knee, which not everyone can do, but we'll start with this. We're going to turn up the massage gun to the highest repetition range. We're going to gently rub it and slowly along the bottom of the foot. So we'll start just gently, just kind of going over the foot, just kind of warming up the soft tissue on the bottom of your foot. Okay, not going too hard, not adding too much pressure. The high repetition range on the massage gun should take care of most of that. And by doing this, you're going to basically soften up the soft tissue on the top so you don't bruise it, in order to get the deeper knots in your muscles within your feet. And so as you kind of roll it over the foot, you're going to find some tender or tight spots most likely. Even if you're not experiencing pain in your feet, you probably have these tender or tight spots just from daily wear and tear. Once you find a tight spot, you can just kind of sit on it, hang out on it, or you can just kind of gently just massage around it, just to stimulate blood flow there. And it might take 30 seconds, it might take a minute, it might take even a little longer than that on some tender or tight spots. But nonetheless, it will get to a point where you'll feel less discomfort or no discomfort at all, and almost a warmth sensation. That is just fresh blood basically going in and entering that area, which should be a nice relief once you actually go up and get up and walk around after this. So what we're doing is just kind of gently, as you can hear with the vibration, kind of goes up a little louder. I found a knot basically in the arch of my foot. And so what I'm going to do is just sit there and basically until the vibration sound goes down and it starts to soften up to a point where you don't hear it as much. Okay? And then as that loosens up, we'll gently move to the next spot. Okay? And so little by little, you're going to source through your foot, just run it along gently along the bottom of your feet for starters, looking for any of these tender or tight spots. Okay? Now, everyone's feet is a little more sensitive, some more than others. Some hurt, some laugh. You'll have a tingling sensation. Everyone has different sensations in their feet, depending on what's going on, nerve endings, a long list of things. So once you've kind of started to find all these little tender or tight spots, we're going to work our way up towards the top of the foot, almost where the toes and balls of the feet meet. And we're going to just kind of gently massage around on the bottom of the foot, working into those crevices. Gently though, you don't need to put a lot of pressure, just enough where you find those little tender or tight spots. And then we're going to just ease into it, just kind of, once you find those spots, and mine tends to be in between my big toe and the toe next to it. So each one you're going to just kind of sit and find those little tender or tight spots until they loosen up one by one. Okay? Once we've kind of worked through the whole foot and found all the little spots and nooks all between the toes, different metacarpal in the feet, we're going to work our way all the way up towards the heel, and then just kind of work our way gently around even to the outside of the foot and the heel and ankle a little bit, because a lot of times foot pain is not just on the bottom of the feet where most people think at point of impact, it's also around the ankles and also even in the top of the feet. So what we're going to do after we've kind of softened up all these spots is we're going to work our way around gently. You don't need a lot of pressure because there's not as much soft tissue all around the ankle and around the top of your foot. So you basically just want to gently hover it, very lightly hitting the top of the skin, just enough that you get these little tender or tight spots. Okay, and try not to hit too much bone. Just try to focus more on hitting just the soft tissue if you can. There's a lot of little bones in your feet, so sometimes you might hit those. It's not the worst thing as long as you're just not putting too much pressure. And then just inch by inch, you're just going to kind of go through finding these little tender or tight spots, loosening them up one by one. Okay? And then as we've kind of softened up all these little spots around the ankles, okay, and we kind of hear the vibration going down and it hurts a little less, we're going to work our way around to the top of the foot. And so how this is going to work is you're going to basically line the massage gun up gently as you can, starting off, just running it gently. And you can start either near the ankle or closer towards the toes, but not at the toes themselves, because there are a little bit of bones, little bitty bones that are basically attached at the top of the toes that you want to be careful of that you don't injure, okay? And so you're just gently just going to kind of run this along the top of your feet, finding any little tender or tight spots, okay? And it won't take probably more than 5 minutes on each foot, just to kind of stimulate blood flow to these areas, okay? And then inch by inch, you're just going to kind of work your way through methodically. Just kind of, you can go up and down or side to side. It's either one works. Just kind of finding any little tender or tight spots. My feet have a little bit more today since I went for a run today. So I have a little bit more tenderness, and it's actually more towards the top of the foot than even the bottom today. But yeah, everyone's going to have different tender spots depending on how you walk, stand, move. Previous injuries will even determine where you might have more tightness in your feet. So just, yeah, inch by inch, you're just going to kind of slowly work your way around the foot. Any little tender or tight spots, you just basically want to hang out on until they basically loosen up, where you almost feel like a warm sensation as fresh blood goes in there. And then we're just going to just kind of gently work our way around until you basically feel like you've loosened up all those tender or tight spots in your feet, okay? And then once you've done that, you can move to the other side or the other foot. The next tool we're going to use is a tennis ball today. You can also use a harder lacrosse ball if you want, or even some people like to use a golf ball on the little crevices on the top of your feet. Each one works independently different. Each one has a little bit more soft give or harder texture, which will determine how much pressure you need to add. Okay, obviously there's a lot of little bones in your feet, so you don't want to put too much pressure, but just enough that you can find those little distortion or tight spots in your feet. So you're just going to take the ball. You can do this sitting down. Most people I know, even my clients, tend to use this while they're at their desk at work or even working from home. And you can just nice and slow, just kind of roll it around on the bottom of your feet. Same thing, just basically looking for any little tender or tight spots. Okay, you don't have to go too hard with it, and you can just kind of ease into it. And you can also do it either on a carpet or even a hard surface if you want to get a little bit more pressure, pounds per square inch, to just stimulate a little bit more blood flow without having to put more weight into it from the top side. As you loosen this up, you're just going to kind of sit, like I said, work your way around the foot inch by inch, working through any little tender or tight spots, okay? And then once that you feel like you've gotten all that out, you can basically pull that off. Simple enough, not too crazy. You can try and use it gently, rolling it around with your hand on the top of the foot to stimulate blood flow if you don't want to hurt your fingers. Using those to massage your feet to work out tender or tight spots. I know a lot of people tend to have tightness in their hands, which I'll cover in a future session, how to fix that. But yeah, so if you want, you don't have to even hold the ball. You can just kind of gently massage it over the top of the foot, okay, looking for any tender or tight spots, just like you did for the massage gun, okay? It doesn't require as much pressure to basically loosen those knots or adhesions up. Simple trick, not too bad. Cheap tennis ball you can buy probably for $2 for 3 of them. Same with like a lacrosse ball, you can probably buy 2 of them for $6 on Amazon. Last but not least, I'm going to cover as far as breaking up or loosening up your feet and dealing with tightness or pain is a frozen water bottle. This was a trick one of my clients taught me long ago after races and having inflammation in their feet from running marathons. They would use a frozen water bottle on the bottom of their feet, which is great for two reasons. One, cold helps basically reduce inflammation. Two, by having it frozen, it actually works as like a foam roller to allow pressure. So you're basically getting a more firm surface to work out knots or adhesions along the bottom of your feet. Now, it's not going to be as good getting into the crevices as the ball or the massage gun and the different attachments on the massage gun, but nonetheless, cold compress, you can basically take it, lay it on the floor, just kind of gently roll inside, outside of the foot. It's going to feel nice cold. If it's too cold to do directly on the skin, you can wear a sock to help kind of reduce some of that shock impact. But yeah, if you have swelling in your feet, I highly recommend using a frozen water bottle first, just to kind of gently, one, work that soft tissue up, and two, get the cold compress on the feet to basically reduce that inflammation before you start trying to use the massage gun or one of the other tools we covered. Last but not least, I'm going to cover is most people that have pain in their feet comes from wear and tear, comes from how we stand, how we walk, how we move, okay? And this can be a combination of static or sitting postures, even how we sit in the car. I have this problem myself with how I like pivot my feet just while I'm sitting idle driving in traffic every day, which then leads to, discomfort in your feet. So all these little things we do throughout the day will add to wear and tear on our body. And so it's good to, one, identify them, and two, try to be more aware of your foot positioning, not letting your foot, inversion, eversion of your feet and ankles. So trying to keep your foot flat, focus more on landing evenly on your feet when you walk. So trying to land more evenly, not on the outside or inside of the foot, so you're not putting more pressure as well. Also, a lot of people have either they put too much of a heel strike and have more impact on the back of the heel, or with runners and a lot of people, even women who tend to wear more heeled shoes, put more pressure on the front of the foot, which then puts more pressure and also leads to more plantar fasciitis, among other things. And then last but not least is having proper footwear. A couple things with footwear. Most people do not wear proper footwear. They do not have enough support in their shoes. They like to wear, sandals all the time, but not enough support. Walk around barefoot on hardwood floors. I'm guilty of that myself often, and have to actually go to a rubbered sole with like a soft lining and a little bit of padding on the inside as well to protect my feet from walking around on hardwood or marble surfaces, so you don't have as much pain in your feet. But yeah, prevention is always going to be easier than fixing something once it's broken. So I highly recommend focusing on properly wearing proper footwear, and also watching how you walk, stand. Be a little bit more diligent with basically being more conscious of how you hold yourself and walk. These little things will eventually, if not eliminate, all these painful spots in your feet, or at least minimize them so that they are fixable with a short 5-minute session each day, or even once a week or every once in a while to cover. I hope you enjoyed all the tips. If you have any other questions, feel free to reach out on my website at bodybydave.com, or you can also subscribe. I will be posting more videos and blogs in the coming days and weeks. Thank you so much, and have a great day.